Why are language grammatical structures so diverse? Imagine a world where every language has the same rules for forming sentences. It would be pretty dull, right? Instead, languages are like colorful puzzles, each with its own set of rules. This variety is not accidental but shaped by many factors over time. To understand why, let's look at some basic ideas and then explore the reasons behind this diversity. First, grammar is the system of rules that tells us how words fit together to make sense. When we say a language has different grammatical structures, we mean it organizes sentences in unique ways. For example, English uses word order to show who is doing what to whom. We say, the cat chased the mouse, and the position of the words makes it clear who is the subject and who is the object. But in Latin, the endings on words change to show this relationship, so the order can be more flexible. Languages are grouped into families based on their shared history. For example, English, German, and Hindi all come from the Indo-European family, but their grammar is quite different. Over centuries, as groups of speakers moved apart or became isolated by mountains or oceans, their languages evolved differently. This separation allowed each group to develop its own grammatical features, creating a wide range of structures across the world. Social factors also play a big role. Languages spoken by large, connected communities often become simpler over time to make learning easier. English, for instance, has lost many complex case endings that Old English used. On the other hand, languages spoken in small, isolated areas tend to keep or develop more complex rules because everyone learns the language from birth and can handle the complexity. When different language communities come into contact, they influence each other. Sometimes, they create simplified languages called pidgins to communicate quickly. If these pidgins grow and become stable, they turn into creoles, which often have their own grammatical rules that are simpler than older languages. This process adds to the variety of grammatical structures we see today. Culture and environment also shape language. While culture does not directly decide grammar rules, it influences the words and concepts a language develops. For example, words related to technology or social identity can change how a language evolves. But the core rules of grammar are more about how people organize their thoughts and communicate. Languages are always changing. Over many years, words can turn into grammatical markers. For example, the English future tense, will, started as a verb meaning to want. This process, called grammaticalization, adds new layers to how sentences are built. Different languages go through this change at different speeds, which adds to the variety. Knowing why grammatical structures are so different helps us understand why learning new languages can be tricky. It also explains why translating between languages is more than just swapping words. It involves adjusting to different ways of organizing ideas. For a channel that explains words, origins, and usage, this shows how grammar is like a story of the people who speak the language. Each language's rules tell a story about its history, environment, and culture, making the world of language endlessly fascinating.